And the Oscar goes to, I don't care. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be giving you my reasoning as to why I am not watching the 2022 Oscars. Normally, I would try and catch some of the ceremony, or at least maybe get more into it with the award circuits going around, all the different shows, all the speculation. I used to eat this up, especially in like 2016, 17, 18, 19. I would make a day out of the Oscars. I would order some food, hang out with some friends, and really get into the show. This year, unfortunately, that hype is completely dead. And before I let you guys know why I'm not watching the Oscars, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below if you plan to watch the ceremony or not, and make sure to subscribe to that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos like this one. I think it goes without saying this is the most predictable year in Oscars history. If you followed any of the experts on Twitter or just tracked any of the award shows leading up to this point in time, it's been pretty much a runaway for every single nominee, and it seems like we're only down to 2 movies for Best Picture itself between The Power of the Dog and Coda. This is actually the first time the Oscars have enacted the rule where you have to have 10 movies nominated for Best Picture, so I'm going to run down the nominees real quick, give you guys my thoughts on it, and then kind of tell you why I'm straying away from watching it this year. The nominees are West Side Story, The Power of the Dog, Nightmare Alley, Licorice Pizza, King Richard, Dune, Drive My Car, Don't Look Up, Coda, and Belfast. Now, I've seen 7 of these 10 movies. The only ones I haven't seen are Drive My Car. Coda could definitely win Best Picture, and Belfast, which I probably will never see, to be honest with you guys. Now, some of these nominees do have an appeal to the wide public, like Dune is a movie that did well at the box office and is more of a big blockbuster type movie that doesn't really get nominated all that much. West Side Story is obviously a remake of a movie that won Best Picture, and it's directed by Steven Spielberg, so there were murmurs about this movie. There is such a massive disconnect between the Oscars mindset and just the average moviegoer mindset. Like, I consider myself a pretty big fan of movies. I watched 60 2021 releases last year, which is a big deal for me. A lot of people watched more, that's awesome. But a movie like The Power of the Dog being the front runner to win Best Picture is insane to me. That movie, while well directed, obviously has some beautiful cinematography. I don't understand why it's the favorite to win Best Picture. It is just simply not the best movie from last year. In fact, if you try to watch this right now and you haven't seen it, let me know if you make it through the first hour without at least dozing off once. My eyes got heavy. The movie's a snooze fest in my mind, and while it's well acted and well shot, that doesn't make it some masterpiece movie. Yes, it's thematically rich, but the plot is non-existent essentially. If The Power of the Dog wins Best Picture the year after Nomadland wins Best Picture, it just further removes the Oscars from the actual love of movie-going and cinemas. Like, what I mean by this is, I'm not trying to get on some pedestal and say, oh, you have to give a Marvel movie or some blockbuster Best Picture every single year. It's just insane to me because of all the other nominees, I would even give Dune Best Picture over this. That's a movie that appeals to a wider audience and is a better film. King Richard, I think, appeals to a much wider audience and is a better film than The Power of the Dog. There's a significant amount of movies that I think are better than The Power of the Dog that are actually nominated, and there are movies that weren't nominated for Best Picture that are better than all the nominees. For example, Tick, Tick, Boom, one of my favorite movies from last year. It's an inspiring musical with a fantastic performance by Andrew Garfield, who we'll talk about in a second. Spider-Man No Way Home, literally one of the highest grossing movies of all time that most people have seen and love, including critics and audiences, was not given a Best Picture nominee. And as much as I like Don't Look Up, I would gladly remove that movie for one of the ones I just mentioned to be nominated over it. The same can be said for Licorice Pizza. I'm a big fan of PTA. I think it's a very well-crafted movie, but I don't know if it actually deserved a Best Picture nomination. I feel like that was just PTA bias, and that's another thing I want to talk about here, is that the Academy Awards love to just award people with nominations because of their track record. Like, Paul Thomas Anderson's a great director, but Licorice Pizza is not really groundbreaking. I don't know why it got nominated for Best Picture. Nightmare Alley, another good movie. I mean, I just don't know why it got nominated for Best Picture. It's kind of a Guillermo del Toro bias in my opinion. And the Oscars themselves, the actual group, is so hypocritical and annoying because they want to cater and pan to this younger audience and get more viewers, but they nominate these movies that no one really cares about when there are perfectly great films that people love that do appeal to a younger audience that they just kind of cast away as BS. Spider-Man No Way Home is the one I'm looking at right now because I love that movie. It's one of my favorites of last year, and I think it deserved a Best Picture nomination. It's also insane to me that they aren't even going to be broadcasting live some of the awards that are crucial to filmmaking itself, so I kind of just am thrown away by that, and the fact they're bringing in Amy Schumer to be one of the hosts. It's like, you're just looking for controversy at this point. It's unfortunate because the Oscars end up becoming more about the drama and the uproar than actually celebrating the best movies of the year, and that's what the Oscars have been lately. There's so much controversy surrounding them, and last year I halfway had the ceremony on, but I think the final straw for me was when they switched the order of Best Picture and Best Actor, which they never do, and they saved Best Actor for last because everyone thought Chadwick Boseman was going to win, so they kind of set it up perfectly to end on this awesome moment where Chadwick posthumously wins. Obviously, rest in peace, he passed before the ceremony, but it ended up being Anthony Hopkins, who wasn't even there to receive the award in person, and Joaquin Phoenix, the prior winner for Best Actor, had to kind of awkwardly stand there on stage and wrap up the show. It was terribly put together, and I'm not really looking for any excitement in the Oscars this year. The best thing that could happen is anything other than The Power of the Dog winning Best Picture, because that is a bland-ass movie that does not deserve the title of Best Picture for 2021. I even talked about this on some live streams recently, but Andrew Garfield was on Jimmy Kimmel, and Andrew Garfield's nominated for his role as Jonathan Larson in Tick, Tick, Boom, and he already knows he's not going to win. Like, he gave a great performance, but he already knows the energy is going towards Will Smith, which, again, love Will Smith. I think he totally deserves an Oscar. It's between Will Smith and Garfield in my eyes. I won't be mad whoever wins, but Will Smith's kind of been pulling away lately, and that's the thing about the Oscars, is you almost know who's going to win every year. There's your rare upset. Olivia Colman over at Glenn Close a few years ago for The Favorite was definitely a crazy one, but I don't expect any crazy surprises, and even if there are, it's not really that much to engage too much interest. I'm very curious to see how much viewership this is. It could be one of the lowest viewed Oscar ceremonies of all time. They are catering to the younger audience with a little bit of a TikTok live stream on the red carpet and some other things like that with these fan votes. They're so desperate for views, and they're trying all these new things to appeal to a younger audience, but they only nominate films, for the most part, to put most normal audiences to sleep. I love movies. I always will. I'm always going to talk about them. And even the non-blockbusters I do watch and enjoy. I talk about Marvel and Star Wars more because I have more fun doing it, but I still review all movies. But at the end of the day, the Oscars are extremely hypocritical, and the funniest thing is, they care so much about their views, but they'll sit on this pedestal and talk about how Marvel and all these other franchises only care about the money, but it's like, you guys only care about your views, it seems like, but no one's watching because you're nominating some dog movies. Maybe the answer to getting more views for the Oscars is actually having a compelling host, but any celebrity who really gives a doesn't even want to host the Oscars because they realize it's just going to be controversy, and the Oscars are a shell of what they used to be in the 2000s, the 90s, even in parts of the 2010s when they were a lot more respectable. Now, they've honestly become a joke, and those little trophies mean nothing because at the end of the day, my favorite movies are my favorite movies, and everyone watching this favorite movies should be your favorite movies. An Oscar shouldn't dictate that, especially with what's being nominated nowadays. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I can already tell the Oscars for 2023 are going to be a bunch of bull because they're probably not going to nominate The Batman for Best Picture, and that is a travesty because it is already one of the best movies in 2022. We are about to be in April, and I do not see 10 movies coming out that will be better than The Batman. But again, it's a comic book movie, so you can't nominate it, right? It's childish thinking on the part of a lot of those Academy voters, and it's a damn shame. Even a great movie like Last Night in Soho received 0 Oscar nominations, which is absolutely insane. So no, I'm not watching the Oscars this year, but hey, shout out Discussing Films. I'll have their tweet notifications on. I'll be able to see everyone that wins right when they win without having to sit through that cringe, unbearable ceremony that takes place tomorrow night. But there you have it for why I'm not watching the Oscars. My heart's not in it anymore, and maybe it will come back one day. They'll come back with a bang, but as of right now, could not care less. But are you guys gonna watch the Oscars? Let me know in the comments down below. Where do you stand with the Academy Awards right now? I'm very much fed up. If you couldn't tell, I've kind of expressed that a lot in recent YouTube videos. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your Saturday, a great Sunday if you plan to watch the Oscars. I myself will probably be watching some college basketball because we are in the Elite Eight heading into the Final Four the following weekend, so that should be a lot more interesting and fun. Moon Knight is coming out this week. I will have a non-spoiler review of the first 4 episodes, a spoiler review of the first episode or 2 if they drop the first 2 on Wednesday, and my review of the highly anticipated Marvel film that I will not say in this video is coming out on March 30th. Can't wait to talk about that one. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.